Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, through this video we will start a new series where I will be talking about the basics of the Vedic astrology. This could be a case that because I've actually started teaching in person in Vancouver as well. Very soon I will be introducing my students to you, and I will be soon starting the online classes as well. So if you are interested, you can enroll for the notification and for the course. And let's just begin our discussion first with the planet of justice, planet of karma, which is the Saturn. So guys, in this playlist I will be talking about from the point of view of that whatsoever planets you have got in your chart, in whichever zodiac sign, what they tell about the kind of karma which you have acquired from the past, and even in this lifetime, in order to work best with the energy being represented by that planet, what sort of mindset approach the planet is demanding you to follow. Understand it in this way that if we are talking from Saturn's point of view, so it's a zodiac sign placement just tells about the kind of deeds or actions you would have performed in the past lifetime. Its house placement will tell about that in which area you have performed them, and its nakshatra is going to tell about that with which intent those have been performed. So starting first with for all those people who are just starting up with the Vedic astrology, that what does Saturn represent? In short, Saturn represents responsibility. Saturn represents your ethics, your character, integrity. We see from the Saturn. Saturn also tells about how many delays and opposition you will face in this lifetime. So I was watching this documentary recently. This documentary was made on the Shore Pass in Nepal, and over there, like when this cameraman was talking to this guy that carrying so much heavy load on your back, you walk on such a rough and difficult terrain where you could lose your life. So what keeps you going? Everyone, like even I was expecting that he's going to say it's the God who I have faith, who protects me. He said karma. Then I was like, whoa. And when that documentary maker asked him that what do you mean by karma, he said that if I have performed bad deeds from the past, my karma will punish me, and if I have performed good deeds in my life, my karma will safeguard me. So this is what the power of karma is. You cannot just and that is the only reason people who are strongly Saturn driven, they always work towards the purification of their actions, and they end up becoming more spiritual, being attuned to their soul. Now like the way I've been saying this thing, now we will take our discussion to the next section. Guys, over here I will not be talking much from the astrological point of view. Just take this video as this could be serving your philosophical needs, spiritual needs, or some sort of past life karmic needs connected to that planet. And yes, whatsoever I need to explain, the basic terminologies that Saturn in this zodiac sign is weak, in this zodiac sign is strong, that I will tell you. But for the detailed, elaborative astrological side of the discussion, I would say that you have to refer to other videos being on there in my channel. So now let's start our discussion. If you will find Saturn to be placed in the Aries in your natal chart. So Aries is a sign which is being represented by the planet Mars. Now Saturn and Mars has got a very difficult relationship, very complicated relationship. Like Saturn gets debilitated in the zodiac sign ruled by the Mars, but in its own zodiac sign it gives exaltation to the planet Mars in the Capricorn. But focusing on if in this lifetime you have got Saturn being placed in the Aries, to begin with, it tells about that in the past lifetime you might have not shown good judgment while taking important decision. A lot of the punishment which you might have endured would have happened because of, this could be said that because of your own impulse. You could be reckless, you might not have shown enough restraint enough perseverance while taking important decision, and because of your own actions in this lifetime, you have got Saturn being placed in the Aries. So the very first thing which we have to understand with this placement, someone who has got this placement, that the lessons of patience, perseverance and demonstrating good judgment is the very first lesson which comes to you if you have Saturn being placed in the Aries. Guys, like the way we say this thing, that Saturn in itself represents illness, diseases, grief and all. Its zodiac sign placement will tell about that in which specific area it is going to be experienced. So there could be concerns of the headache which native has to deal with this kind of placement. See, Saturn is a planet of delays and tests and trials. It wants to strengthen your character through the hardship. It is going to be like the same only for all the zodiac sign, irrespective of the fact that even if Saturn is going to be placed in its own sign, it's sign of exaltation. But in your case, these test and trial and the hardship is going to be little bit more harsher, because this is one lesson which Saturn is trying to teach you even from the past lifetime, and you are not learning it. And generally it has been seen, people who have got Saturn being in the Aries, the first half of the life is filled with lot of pressure, delays, disappointments, tests and trials. And how much you are learning from it, it is going to be shaping up how your second half of life is going to be turning out. Now see, even within the Aries, there is an energy of the Ashwini Nakshatra, Bharni Nakshatra, Kritika Nakshatra. There could be your planet Saturn in the Aries might be placed in the Taurus Navamsa, in the Gemini Navamsa. There could be so many ways of looking at it. But one thing is for sure, that the test and trial, lessons of patience and perseverance needs to be learned by the native. You cannot be all the time being in this mindset that I can do things, attain things on my own. You have to humble down, tone down your ego, and the more you can work with the collective, the better it will work out for you. Let's move forward. If your Saturn is placed in the Taurus, now this is one such kind of placement which tells about that even in the past lifetime, like the account of karma or the caricature of the karma with which you have to work, it somehow tells about that you have shown enough perseverance from the past lifetime. Like you are not being dealing with a kind of a baggage over where it is filled with your own mistakes. This could be a case that even from the past lifetime, you would have remained very rigid, very disciplined and very rooted in your tradition, in your culture, in your like kind of values. Regarding that front, it's a good sign. Saturn in the Taurus just tells about that whatever life will give you, this could be in the form of the teaching, in the form of the any of the family business, any inheritance. This generally is a sign that native has got this capacity to preserve it, to maintain it, rather reinforce it with its own contribution. And lot many times it has been seen that we know this thing that native generally has got to bear the responsibility of the family, his kith and kin, right from a very early age. Like this is one such kind of placement over where Saturn expect you to get mature or start shouldering responsibilities from a very young age. Now the test and trials, or I would say that when we talk about the health vulnerability, so the portion of the like tonsil and throat could be a matter of concern for the native. But in lot many cases, this is one such placement which is considered as good. In doing good because of the support of your family, being able to manage, preserve finances, or I would say give and bring honor and glory to your values, to inculcated teachings and all. And with this kind of placement, it is very rare that native is going to be reckless for the attainment of the goals. Like with this kind of placement, it has generally been seen that native tend to remain very patient for the sown seeds to fructify into big achievements. So regarding that front, Saturn in the Taurus is not creating any vulnerability, whether we talk about from the past point of view or whether from the way your karma is going to be getting unfolded. We know this thing that karma can be qualified and categorized in 4 categories. Like there is Sanchit, there is Prarabdha, Agami and Kriyaman. So all what I can say is that the portion of the karma you will be dealing with in this lifetime, you have that efficiency to perform well, to be responsible, demonstrate strong ethics and be graceful even in the face of delays and disappointment or opposition. Moving ahead. Now let's say for example, if you have your Saturn being placed in the Gemini. So to begin with, this can be considered as a very good placement in this regard that, see, Saturn is a very orthodox, it's a very kind of conservative planet which wants to follow the norm the way it is. Saturn is very happy, contented in doing any monotonous job the way it has been laid out. But the good part about the Gemini is that over here you will find sense of youthfulness, you will find that sense of curiosity to update, to learn new things, to be aware about what is happening around you. Like the way we say this thing that if even in your case, like any involvement of Saturn over the 7th house or 7th lord, lot many people say that your partner might have the Saturnian qualities, like the partner could be a little bit mature, there will be age difference, partner will be very serious, little bit dry and all. But if there is going to be any touch or involvement of Gemini, it adds the layer and breeze of freshness, of youthfulness, of curiosity, being flexible, being adaptable. So in many ways, Saturn in the Gemini is considered as good. Even from the past, it has been seen that native has adapted himself as per the test and trials of the life. So imagine this guy wanted to be a musician, but if life did not work out as per the plan A, native very easily, comfortably switched to the plan B. And the thing is that Gemini is very, it will not be an exaggeration to call Gemini little bit intelligent as well. See, when we talk about Virgo, Virgo has got more to do with being very meticulous, being very detail oriented. But you do not have to be like that. A lot many times it's your intelligence, it's your inquisitiveness which also gives you a leverage, upper hand. So if you have your Saturn being in the Gemini, so native has got this capacity to understand the kind of lessons Saturn is trying to teach you. Native will be able to understand the kind of pattern that, okay, why these kind of people I always date and get disappointed. There might be some lesson which Saturn is trying to teach me. So in this regard, it is considered as good. So whether you talk about from the past point of view as well, native might have contributed a lot, or he might have shouldered the responsibilities of his own sibling, and like a lot of the, see again, it will all come down to in which dignity, in which house Saturn is placed. If you remember at the beginning, I mentioned this thing that Saturn's zodiac sign placement will tell about the kind of, with how much and in which capacity you have done the deeds. Its house placement will tell about where you have done the deeds, and nakshatra will tell about with which intent you have performed those deeds. So how, where and with which intent. So Saturn Gemini is kind of a favorable placement if you have to look at it from Saturn's point of view. And even in this lifetime, you have Saturn being placed in the Gemini. So it keeps you socially active, it keeps you or makes you adaptable, and it makes you very much curious enough towards learning new things in order to make yourself more skilled, and in a way that when it comes down to the natural talent, skill of the hands, that is also somehow attached with Leo or with the Gemini. But I would say this thing that Saturn somehow find itself at comfortable zone, and based on today's modern day changing times and the kind of importance now Gemini has gained, so many people working freelance, self-employed, skill of the hand. So I would say Saturn's placement in the Gemini can be seen as a blessing. Now, if you have Saturn being placed in the Cancer, so guys, this in a way has been explained that you're born in this lifetime with some sort of heavy like shock or disappointment or like pressure and pain to your heart. This could have been experiences of the past. Now again guys, I'm not saying here, neither do I, like I won't do like past life regression therapies and all. I'm not certified, licensed and equipped for that, but all what I know is that there are like certain elements in your chart, like Rahu and Ketu axis, your 5th house, your ascendant lord, certain nakshatra and the Saturn. They surely give information regarding the past for sure. So if your Saturn is there in the Cancer, it tells about this, that there might be those kind of situation where your emotions were very susceptible and vulnerable and might have got hurt a lot, and this is how you are born. So you are born with a wounded heart. But the good part is that this is one such kind of placement. It might not be very good for your personal health point of view, personal happiness, emotional health, emotional happiness point of view. Emotional happiness, emotion happiness, I don't know, I just have invented this term. But one thing is for sure, that when we talk about that, if native is going to direct this lack within him or within her in order to do like serve to the humanity, serve to the collective, like when we come across many people who are the social worker, who are doing something very like strongly in the lines of philanthropy, humanitarian, their emotions are now open to the world. Their emotions are like open to the whole humanity. This could be one such kind of combination. And in many ways, like it has been seen that big politicians, big leaders who remain responsible for like strong activism and bringing those crusade and those revolution in the society has been seen with this Saturn's placement in the Cancer. Because generally what happens is that, like the way I mentioned this thing, signs where Saturn is not comfortable, this could be Aries, this could be Cancer, this could be Leo, the hardship in the first half of the life tend to remain very hard. But how you evolve, that is generally seen in combination with other planets in the chart. So if the overall health of the chart, like ascendant lord, your 10th lord, your moon, moon nakshatra, if everything is giving strength to the chart, this could be a combination which in the latter half of the life could make native a big politician, very successful in the life. Along with that guys, with this kind of combination, someone has to refrain from overindulgence in the sex, in the food or gratification. Like this is generally seen as the misdirected kind of personality. So just because you're not happy with your relationship, so you are spending too much money on the shopping, in the food, in the alcohol, these things. So this is one such area native has to be careful. Many times it has been seen that native get attracted towards the older people. In many case studies, it has been seen people who are married to older spouse, and especially older women in the men's case. Along with that, it also makes someone little bit vulnerable towards the weight gain or overweight issue as well, obesity as well. So regarding that as well, you have to be careful. So yes guys, this is all what I can say. Even within the Cancer, there are like certain very important nakshatra, like when we talk about the Pushya nakshatra. If Saturn is going to be placed in its own nakshatra in the Cancer, this could be responsible for native to become very, very good healer, doing something big in the public domain. And again guys, understand this thing. People have this wrong notion that in order to be successful, I need good PR manager, media campaign, I need strong Sun, I need strong Rahu. Understand this thing. Sun will give you that brightness, visibility. But the day you will be walking without your personal aura of security and all, and you will be amongst the masses, the layman and the crowd, you might not be well received. Saturn gives you respect in the society. Saturn is one such planet where we say that in Hindi there is a term, janta mein chha jana. Becoming a public's favorite is the domain of the Saturn. So this is how we can relate that there are like certain nakshatra within the Cancer, Navamsa Padam over there. Saturn can give you result, but yes, the first half of the life might be filled with disappointments. Your emotions have to be well guarded, and the health of your we can say the heart and something over there as well, the physical organs connected with the Cancer as well, that also needs to be well guarded, protected, because Saturn is placed over there. Let's move forward. Now if you have Saturn in the Leo in this lifetime, now guys, see the way it has been explained by many psychics. Now over here I'm not giving any quotation from any good astrological classical book like Brihathora Shastra and all. I have like, while being in conversation with many psychics and astrology lovers, people say, and especially the Lal Kitab. See, Lal Kitab is amazing, especially when it comes down to getting into the philosophical side of astrology. So Saturn in the Leo is seen as the Rajdroh, means people who betray their country. Their like, see, in the older times it's like, you know, being not loyal to your kingdom and all. These days in the modern context, even if you are like abusing your elected person in the government, in the Twitter, in the Facebook, in the comment section, that is also in a way Saturn Leo energy. But I mean, and you should not be doing it. Saturn in the Leo means this is where your lesson is. Never ever abuse someone who is connected with the government or who is in a respectful position. I will get into the elaborative side of it, but yes, this generally tells about that in the past lifetime you would have betrayed, or you would have kind of, you know, rebelled against the authority and all. Now the way we have to look at it, the way I mentioned that, see, Saturn is about test and trials, and Saturn is also about fear. So it also tells about that, you know, it's like you might be always skeptical of your own fans, of your own like people who appreciate you, people who are your admirers. You might be a little bit skeptical towards them as well. Second thing is that a lot many times it has been seen that the fall of the native comes when he's at the peak. Like those people who throughout their life they work hard, when they reach the peak, then the fall of theirs come. Now again, with this, a lot is dependent on the way you have earned that. See, if let's say for example in the chart the overall planetary concentration is telling about that the native is going to be successful, but that success has been earned through typical Rahu style, like usurping someone's share, plotting and deceiving someone. So the way universe conspires and the way universe grants the justice, it's always very, like the way we say that, poetic justice. It is always up to the mark and very precise. So this is one lesson which native needs to learn, that if your Saturn is placed in the Leo, your ascension to the power should be filled with integrity, honesty, and the more you will do charities and help the people who are like downtrodden, unprivileged, the better this Saturn in the Leo will work for you. So guys, with this placement, like the way I mentioned for Saturn in the Aries or Saturn in the Cancer, the hardship will come very strong in the first half of the life, because this is the lesson which you have not learned from the past, and the same continuity of the pressure will continue even in this lifetime and time period till 36 years of age. So up till 36 years of age, native might have to face a lot of the hardship. And if native is going to be already connected with the government or trying to get into any department portfolio, being connected with the government, the hardship, the opposition, the resistance is going to be very strong. And native has to give good attention to the blood pressure, the heart, physical organ heart, and the health of the eyes as well. These needs to be well taken care of. Now when we talk about if your Saturn is placed in the Virgo, now this is a good placement. This tells about that even in the past lifetime you have been consistently, diligently working very hard. There are like lot many attributes of the Virgo which find resonance in the energy and the style of the planet Saturn. Saturn just wants you to be disciplined, to work very hard, be honest, demonstrate highest level of integrity, and if needed, help others. So this could be the kind of pattern which you have been following from the past many lifetimes. That is the first thing which we get to know. Second thing is that when we talk about your attention given towards your contribution to the health and fitness, that could be a matter of like your priority from the past as well. So in this lifetime, these all are the areas where you are going to be judged. These all are the areas where Saturn is going to be expecting a lot from you. So if you have your Saturn in the Virgo and you always shy from doing hard work, or you're not very meticulous about the concerns of your health, your life does not have any order, does not have any proper like discipline. So with this kind of placement, Saturn being in the Virgo, the native might have to face the hardship. Like the punishment might come because of your own recklessness, because of your own carelessness. But in lot many ways, Saturn being placed in the Virgo is generally considered as good sign. You might be a physician from the past lifetime, or you might have done a lot, like you have earned. This is one such kind of placement where we can say this thing, like Saturn being in the Virgo, Saturn being in the Aquarius is generally seen as a reward, like a pat on your back that okay, you have passed the test of the Saturn. That is how, and that is why you are born with this kind of placement. Now the thing is, people who have Saturn being in the Virgo, but let's say it is placed in the Hasta Nakshatra, they take this discipline to altogether next level. They get very obsessed with punctuality, with being very timetable oriented and all. But yes, Saturn in the Virgo is considered as a good sign. All what is expected out of you is stay disciplined, stay firm, no matter what people around you are doing, what people around you are preaching. You know that you have to be answerable to your own karma, which is Saturn, and which in Virgo wants you to be abiding by that. And like lot many physicians, lot many doctors, lot many like people in policing and a law related field have been seen with Saturn in Virgo doing very good in the life. Like these are among those guys, whenever life increase or like increase the conviction or pressure in their life, they're already equipped to resonate on the same level or on the same vibration. So in a way, Saturn in the Virgo demonstrate or manifest good results. Now if you have your Saturn being placed in the Libra, now this is a very good placement. This generally tells about that from the past lifetime you have earned the respect of the planet Saturn because of the good use of your judgment. Like you have been very fair in majority of the undertakings of your life. So this is one such area where you have already earned the medal from the planet Saturn, the medal of hard work, dedication, being fair, and like demonstrating all sort of honesty, integrity, even from the past lifetime. And even in this lifetime, Saturn in the Virgo is considered as a good placement. Like this can actually make you public's favorite. It can actually make you likable. And people who are like doing very good in the fields of politics, in the fields of law, judiciary, and they end up becoming and reaching the top of the position and all. And like if within the Libra as well, your Saturn is placed in the like Swati Nakshatra. So like I would not call Chitra as much I will call the Swati. Within the domain of the Libra is that typical mansion of the millionaires. Like this nakshatra has got huge potential to be wealthy, rich and all. So yes, if your Saturn is going to be placed in the Libra, you have demonstrated good judgment in the past, and the way you manage your relationship, that will always be on the pedestal. Like this could be your relationship and your dedication and commitment to your partner. So you have to understand this thing. Saturn in the Libra will always judge your integrity in terms of your ethics and your commitment level. the honesty level towards your partner. This could be your spouse, or this could be within the business, and the kind of ethics and practices you follow in the business. So that will always be on the pedestal. And yes, when we say that the health related area, so kidney, you have to be little bit particular about it. The back, so like doing proper exercise, taking care of your back also becomes important. So whether from the wealth point of view, whether from the fame point of view, whether from the public acceptance point of view, this is one such placement which is telling about that you are born, like the way when you were born, the kind of balance sheet, the credit and debit sheet which you got of your actions, of your karma, is very fair. There is not much of that shocking element of too much unbalance which you can see in the form of your earned karmas from the past lifetime. Now guys, moving ahead, now if you have your Saturn being placed in the Scorpio, so that means majority of your actions in the past have been performed in secrecy. Majority of the actions performed by you have been questioned, have been judged a lot in the past lifetime. Even in this lifetime, if you have your Saturn being placed in the Scorpio, like the way I mentioned this thing, that those who have Saturn in the Leo, the majority of the damage happens to them when they are shining at their peak. So for those people who have Saturn in the Scorpio, they become the maximum target of the rumor and the gossip. So you have to be very particular about this thing, that a lot many times people do not pay heed, and I don't care what they're talking behind my back and all. But if you are Saturn in the Scorpio, you might not paying attention to it now. The damage of it might happen 2 years down the line when you will be doing very good in the life. So I mean to say, if you have Saturn in the Scorpio, this is one such area where you have to be very careful. Whatever things you are doing, whatever your plans are, never ever reveal it to everyone. You do not know that what kind of intent people around you have, what kind of evil eye they can give you to your omens and all. So regarding that, you have to be careful. See, beyond any doubt, if you have Saturn in the Scorpio, anything which involves secrecy, espionage, which involves life and death, which involves poison, so in all these areas you can do very good. This is one such kind of skills which comes very natural to you. Like the way, see, there are like certain signs and certain planets even in Vedic astrology which are considered as very strong in the daytime, and they're like those signs which are considered as very nocturnal, which can do very good in the night. Like the way even certain devatas, like even the Varun, the god of the oceans and all, it is also considered as like the way the god of the night time. So I mean to say, if you have your Saturn in the Scorpio, all these kind of elements are going to be your battleground, are going to be your like playground, I would say rather, that okay, you can perform your deeds, your actions very strongly in this area. And lot many times the threat which comes to the people who have got Saturn in the Scorpio, it generally comes from people who are like more mystical than you, who might be antisocial, who might be filled with vengeance and all. So generally people who have Saturn in the Scorpio, one thing which I want to teach them and say them over here is that even if you are having any like breakup, or you are ending anything, always end it on a good note. Like always let go people on a good note, on a respectful note, because the karma in your case is so heavy that some jilted lover of yours, you do not even realize that at what stage in the lifespan of yours he or she will come back and give you the damage. So for people who have Saturn in the Scorpio, secrecy becomes very important. And like the way I mentioned, any breakup and these kind of situation, how gracefully you behave or perform, rest, karma and universe and divinity will take care. But from your own, you should not be leaving any scope of any thing getting backfired in future, in times to come. And yes guys, when we talk about the like Saturn is in the Scorpio, so the reproductive organs or the genital and all, regarding the health of those like body organs and parts, you have to be a little bit careful. And with this kind of placement, like the way I mentioned, anything to do with research, investigation, matters of life and death, something which is very dark, native can be a master in all these kind of things. And if you have Saturn in the Scorpio, the worship of the ferocious gods becomes very important, like the time of the night becomes very important. All these kind of things which a layman is fearful of, like the mind get stressed. So these are the times when you will function well, you will perform well. This is going to be or could be your area of expertise, and that is the only reason people who have Saturn in the Scorpio, they can become very good astrologer, because only when other people are going to be going through bad unfortunate time, those clients will come to you. You could be a very good therapist or psychiatrist. People with mental health issue will come to you and you will solve their issue. You could be a very good lawyer, criminal lawyer. So yes, Saturn in the Scorpio, so all those things which might be capable enough of giving fear to others is going to be your area and domain of expertise. And doing meditation becomes very important for people who have Saturn in the Scorpio, because there are so many secrets which yet to be resolved, which yet to be explored. You might be a very king sorcerer of that village and town where you were living in the past lifetime. You have that within you, in your DNA, that needs to be explored. And yes, with Saturn, you have to earn it, but you carry a lot of secrets within you, of your deeds, of your action. Now we cannot say this thing, guys, understand this thing. Saturn in the Aries is a problematic situation. Saturn in the Leo is a problematic situation. Saturn in the Cancer and Saturn in the Scorpio somehow has got its own nakshatra over there. In the Cancer, it is the Pusha. In the Scorpio, it is the Anuradha. How could it be unfair to its own territory, its own domain? And Anuradha is considered as one of the very good nakshatra. Like majority of the nakshatras of the Saturn are considered as very good. Like Pusha is considered as one of the very good nakshatra for majority of the Muhurat. And Anuradha is considered as very good for devotion, for being supported by friends, by the Mitra, friends and all. So yes, this is what I can say for people who have got Saturn in the Scorpio. Now let's move forward. If you have Saturn being placed in the Sagittarius, so guys, one thing is for sure that this is one such kind of placement which is telling about that even the bar of expectation from the past lifetime has been set, that you should do something which is going to be very righteous, which is going to be very inspirational for the world. Now if I were to say that which planet amongst the 9 planets here, I'm not talking about Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, out of all the 9 planets which are considered as the planet which are strongly connected with the collective. So Rahu is connected over there, Saturn is connected over there. There could be those other people who, like other planets, who might be more personal to us, but it's the Saturn only, and it's the through the energy and domain of the Sagittarius, Saturn wants you to rise and shine and become a beacon of light to others. So in this way, the pressure of the Saturn to perform and excel in the bar of excellence set by it becomes very high. And that is the only reason, guys, when we talk about the fire sign, Saturn somehow tend to remain little bit harsh on them, because Saturn behave in a way feeling that you already have that within you. It just needs to be bring out through pressure, through test and trials. So generally it has been seen that the first half of the life of the native is going to be filled with a lot of tests and trials and pressure. And for the people who have Saturn in the Sagittarius, their morals get tested a lot. Like it is very easy to always say that, okay, I'm very strongly Hindu, I'm very strongly Christian, I'm very devout Muslim, but when life put you in all these tests and trials, how strongly you defend your dharma, that is where you will be tested. Like the way I guess this is so much hate going on after this attack on October 7th, 2023 in Middle East to one country, and there was this whole sort of sentiment which started going against them. And even like the world has witnessed in different phases where one community has been targeted, sidelined, and how these people remain rooted and firm in their dharma. Like not to go very far, I guess even in India, in the history of India, there was those time when the Mughals, they caused lot of hardship, lot of torture on some of the very revered, respectful Sikh people, Sikh gurus and all. But they still stayed firm, irrespective of being tormented, in order to do the, you call that, step down from your religious teachings, step down from your integrity and your ethics and all. So if I were to say, out of all the placements, this is one such kind of placement where the test and trials of the ethics and your morals get tested with the hardship in the life. Like the way, guys, you know this thing that out of all the zodiac signs, it's the Sagittarius only which in itself represents righteousness, ethics, morals, doing good deeds. See, Jupiter also has got a rulership over the Pisces as well, but Pisces has got everything to do with let go, move forward, transcend from this situation. It's the Sagittarius only which stay firm and which fight for what is right. And Saturn is a planet of test and trials and all these kind of hardship. Okay, you say and you preach a lot about the righteousness. Let me put you in a situation and then we will see that how you will perform. When you will be grilled by the life circumstances, you do not want to take any bribe. You do not want to make any money unethically, but I'm gonna give any disease in your family to your child. Let's see whether will you bend to earn that money or make that money or not. So it becomes very important. People who have Saturn in the Sagittarius, the tests and trials which life brings to them, it is altogether next level. But if they pass that test, these are among those people who become the inspiration for the world to follow. And again, guys, I want to say the same thing. These days it has become a trend. Lot many motivational speakers on the internet and all. It's fine. Okay, whatever, if through your action and your deeds you are uplifting, giving hope to people, to the humanity, to the world, it's fine. But if I were to pick between two motivational speakers to pick or choose and to listen to, a side note, Jim Rohn is my all-time favorite. I just love listening to Jim Rohn. But I mean to say, I would better listen to someone who is sharing his life journey, his own ordeal, and then inspiring the world. And Saturn in the Sagittarius could be those people. So yes, guys, and we say this thing that the body organ connected with the Sagittarius, so this could be your thighs and all. So be very mindful of the health of there. Now, guys, moving right now, if you have Saturn being in the Capricorn, so Saturn in the Capricorn is a placement where Saturn is placed in its own house, in its own sign. But this also tells about that this sort of leadership quality, regality, something which native has acquired from the past lifetime. See, this is one such kind of placement where Saturn is giving you this award, like certificate of excellence, that you passed the test. I put you through the test and trials. Other zodiac signs are just heading towards it, but you have already passed. And this also tells about that you have performed well in terms of all of your duties and responsibilities. This could be in the matters of your personal life, your social life, towards the community and all. So you performed very well. And even in this lifetime, that is the only reason that these people end up reaching the position of power. This is one such kind of placement which tells about that people who have their goals very predefined. Like it would be an exception if a Saturn Capricorn person comes to me and tells me that I have already turned like 25, 35 and I do not know about what I want to do or what I have to do. It will be a rare phenomena. These are among those people who like undertake their responsibilities much earlier in the life. They are very trusted. You can easily trust them. And they are very clear about what exactly they have to do. And for any domain, like when we talk about politics, when we talk about any social service, any judiciary, becoming a top CEO. So see, Saturn in the Capricorn, why it makes you a successful business person or entrepreneur, because your shoulder can be trusted that universe will gift you bountiful, because through you lot many people are going to be receiving their their employment and everything. So you have got this capacity. But again guys, Saturn is a planet over where that whatever you have to earn from it, you have to go through its own share of tests and trials. Now your lessons are not going to be filled with pain, which could be for the Saturn in Scorpio or Saturn in fire signs like Aries, Leo or Sagittarius. So your experiences are not going to be filled with pain or humiliation and disease and bereavement. Your lessons are not going to be like that. But yes, the responsibilities and expectations set from you are going to be all-time high. So this could be from your family, this could be at work, lot will be expected out of you. Now and yes, when we talk about the knees, knee and all, so in the body as well, that is the one such part over where you have to be careful, because that body part will have to be given additional care and attention, because Saturn in itself represents diseases and ailments as well. Now let's move forward. Now if you have your Saturn in the Aquarius, oh my god, our hippie bohemia person has now arrived. So Saturn in the Aquarius guys is considered as a very good placement. See, this in itself tells about that you have demonstrated some good judgment from the past lifetime. It also tells about that you have been very like the way we say this thing, that you have done a lot to the collective as well. Like Saturn in some of the signs can make the native reap the reward and be a little bit self-centric. But Aquarius is one such kind of sign where you have been very happy and very willing to share your good fortune with the less privileged ones as well. So, and that is the only reason, like Saturn being Aquarius is considered as a very good sign, that these people can do very good. Like all those events which we see where people are like continuously, even if you are a musician, you are doing concert and tour to different cities. Even so many astrologers and little bit expert people we say these days, they are like traveling nomad. They are going to the different countries, doing the story, covering the story. Again guys, see, if you actually want to become an astrologer, it has not all the time to do with the astrological chart. And because a lot many times just looking at the traits, like looking at the face of people. When I first time went to Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, when I just starting off, someone looked at my face, a very senior guy, he came to me, hey, are you an Aries? And it's like, yeah. Do you have a malefic planet in your ascendant? Yeah, I can see in your forehead and this injury mark. I got that from it, that you must be some Mars ascendant and all. So that's what I'm saying. It's like astrology, this is how astrology works. Just observing someone's life, someone's actions, someone's body language, career, achievement, major event. In itself, every event of the life, every aspect of the life is giving you some information about the planets, how the planets are operating and working. So Saturn in the Aquarius, coming back to it, is a good sign for people who have earned the good merit, and you are born in this lifetime with a fresh balance sheet of good karma. Now what you are building step by step, layer by layer, that is a different case. But what you have received as a fresh balance sheet is about some good ethics and good karma done by you in the past. Second thing is that, like the way I mentioned, anything which involves technology, which involves new age thing, which involves gathering and doing and performing amongst a big crowd, you can be very successful in that. And that is the only reason these people can become very good influencer, they can become very good politician, they can become very good journalist, they can become very good entrepreneur as well. And again guys, like the way I mentioned, that Saturn being in the Aquarius also tells about that yes, you have got good judgment. You could be a very good judge of character as well. And science, technology, new age things, anything which is going on in trend. And guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, see Aquarius, because it has got a rulership over both the Saturn and the Rahu as well. So not only you have this receptivity to foresee any trend coming in the market, but also it does not make these people a little bit fool. Like the way we say that these days so many propaganda going on, so many false narrative gets built, but people who have Saturn in the Aquarius, they are smart, intelligent enough to see through any of those propaganda and false narratives as well. So guys, if I were to say from the success point of view, from the knowledge point of view, from doing something good and leaving a legacy in the world point of view, Saturn in the Aquarius is considered as a good placement. Now guys, if you have your Saturn being placed in the Pisces sign, so the good part about this placement is that the tendency to willingly do the charities, be ready and willing to sacrifice for the well-being of your loved ones, and having that sense of empathy for the plight, pain and suffering of others comes very naturally to you. You might be a very renowned healer even in your past lifetime as well. And again guys, all the attributes of the Pisces somehow resonate with the qualities of the planet Saturn as well. If you have to say that Pisces can only be related or connected with, for example, Jupiter, because Jupiter owns it, or this could be Venus because Venus attains exaltation over here, or this could be Ketu. I would say that although Saturn is not very strongly connected with Pisces, but it has the capacity. See, within the Pisces you will find one of the nakshatra ruled by the planet Saturn, like Uttar Bhadrapada, which is considered as very strong for devotion, for the Kundalini activation and all. And like the way I've been saying this thing, that when we talk about big corporation, big organization, big movements and crusade and revolution which happens in the world, and you will witness this thing when Saturn in the March 29th is coming into the Pisces sign. It will change the world order, it will cleanse and purify, and the changes and transformation will be done on a very strong root level, so that the new world order can be established with its next successive transit. So the point which I'm saying over here is that Saturn's placement in the Pisces is considered as good in so many ways. When we talk about anything to do with the spirituality, anything to do with doing things in isolation, and when we talk about your genuine empathy, concern for the others, this could be one of the very good placement. This is one such kind of license and certificate or trust which you have earned from the past lifetime as well. Like you have already been on the front line in order to safeguard the interest of your loved ones. So yes guys, and the only concern is that in the first half of the life, when we are still in that formative phase of the life, you will not even realize that okay, why I'm losing out on people, why I am the only one who has to always sacrifice for my younger siblings, for my family members. So through this pattern, Saturn is trying to teach you your forte, your source of strength. All these sacrifices which you are doing, these are among those people who will come back and they will be responsible for your success. All these kind of voluntary favor and random good gesture you are showing, everything is getting materialized and counted somewhere and will help you. Like the way guys I mentioned this thing for the Saturn in the Scorpio, even if you have to break up and let go someone, never do that with humiliation. Always do that respectfully, because that betrayal and humiliation otherwise will backfire and come someday back to you. Same way for the Saturn in the Pisces, the good deeds done by them, you will not even realize in how dire times and sensitive times of the life it will circle back and help you. So yes guys, and we say this thing that anything which is foreign in nature and working in isolation and health, service, healing, empathy, all these are your forte if your Saturn is going to be placed in the Pisces. And yes, your feet in the body, Pisces represents your feet, and Saturn, the planet of diseases, ailment, is going to be placed over there. So be very mindful and take good care of it. That is all what I can say. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.